All right, cool. But yo, so cool. So my name is Jamaal Payne. Been in, network marketing for I guess it feel like a long time now, but I think I'm popping up on a year and a half. It'll be in a year and a half in about 20 days of doing network marketing. And I love it. I love it because I get to change people's lives, right? I get to put myself in a position by changing other people's lives, I get to change my own. I was in the military for a while, where I met a lot of my leaders was actually in the military, was in the Air Force, medically retired. And I mean, to me, I learned a lot of things by putting myself, deployments, understanding that things are bigger than myself. You know what I mean? Understanding that, my work directly resulted in somebody living or dying. That matters, right? Understanding the power of teamwork and the power of ownership of what my job is, no matter whether it's big or small, my job matters in this whole thing, in this big equation of us all becoming successful. And that's one thing that with 100 milli guys, we all have our part in helping the next person become successful. We all got to understand what we bring to the table so we can, and what things that we fall short on, right? Things that we're great at, things that we fall short on, and improving and accentuating on those things so we can help the next person, help the next person, help the next person do the exact same thing, guys. What does Amazon sell, right? What does actual Amazon actually sell? Don't really sell much, right? Amazon don't sell nothing. People only use Amazon as a system to help sell for other people. So Amazon's actually the go-between to help other people get their things out, right? Because it's helping create other millionaires. It's helping other billionaires, right? So in turn, now he's helped create other people to be successful. Guess what he is now? The richest man on earth. All by having a system to help other people get rich. So guys, take that to note that if you can help other people become successful, if you can pour into other people or develop something to help other people win, you're going to win on an immense scale, right? Your life is like life-changing scale. So I'm gonna play something for you real quick, and then I'm gonna get into a quick video. Then I really want y'all to pay attention to it, and then I'm gonna get into what I want to go over today. So bear with me. And everybody see my screen all right? Drop a 1 in chat if you can see my screen okay. All right, cool. All right. Definitely want to pay attention to this. I probably should have had the what's the name done, but y'all can see everything all right?
War is a nightmare. War is awful. It is indifferent and devastating and evil. War is hell. But war is also an incredible teacher, a brutal teacher. And it teaches you lessons that you will not forget. In war, you are forced to see humanity at its absolute worst. And you are also blessed to see humanity in its most glorious moments. War teaches you about sorrow and loss and pain. And it teaches you about the preciousness and the fragility of human life. And in that fragility, war teaches you about death. But war also teaches you about brotherhood and honor and humility and leadership. And unfortunately, war teaches you the most when things go wrong. And for me, one of the most impactful lessons that I learned from war was in the spring of 2006 in the city of Ramadi, Iraq, which at the time was the epicenter of the insurgency, where brutal and determined terrorists ruled the streets with torture and rape and murder. And it was in one neighborhood of that city, during an operation that I was in charge of, when all hell broke loose. We had multiple units out on the battlefield fighting the enemy. We had friendly Iraqi soldiers, we had U.S. Army soldiers and U.S. Marines, along with small elements of my SEAL team. And then the fog of war rolled in, with its confusion and chaos and mayhem, and with its gunfire and enemy attacks and screaming men and blood and death. And in that fog of war, through a series of mistakes and human error and poor judgment and Murphy's Law and just plain bad luck, a horrendous firefight broke out. But this firefight, it wasn't between us and the enemy. This firefight, tragically, was between us and us. Friendly forces against friendly forces. Fratricide. The mortal sin of combat. And the most horrific part of war. And when it was over, and the fog of war lifted, one friendly Iraqi soldier was dead, 2 more were wounded, one of my men was wounded, the rest of my SEALs were badly shaken. And it was only through a miracle that no one else was killed. And it was reported up the chain of command what had happened. That we had fought and wounded and killed each other. And when we got back to base, things didn't get much better. There was a message waiting for me from my commanding officer. And it said, shut down all operations. It said that the commanding officer, the master chief, and the investigating officer were inbound to my location. And they told me to prepare a debrief to explain exactly what had happened on the operation and what had gone wrong. Now, I knew what this meant. It meant that somebody had to pay. It meant that somebody had to be held accountable. It meant that somebody had to get fired for what had happened. So, I began to prepare my debrief. And in it, I detailed every mistake that was made and who made it. And I pointed out every failure in the planning and the preparation and the execution in the operation. And I pointed out who was responsible for that failure. There was plenty of blame to go around. There were so many people that I could incriminate with guilt. But something wasn't right. For some reason, I just couldn't put my finger on who was at fault and who specifically I should blame for what had happened. And I sat and I went over it again and again, and I struggled for an answer. And then, when I was about 10 minutes from starting the debrief, that answer came, and it hit me like a slap in the face. And I realized that there was only one person to blame for the confusion, only one person to blame for the wounded men, and only one person to blame for the dead Iraqi soldier. And I knew exactly who that person was. And with that knowledge, I walked into the debriefing room with my commanding officer and the master chief and the investigating officer were sitting there waiting for me, along with the rest of my men, including my SEAL that had been wounded, who was sitting in the back of the room with his head and his face all bandaged up. And I stood up before them and I asked them one simple question. Whose fault was this? One of my SEALs raised his hand, and he said, it was my fault. I didn't keep control of the Iraqi soldiers I was with, and they left their designated sector, and that was the root of all these problems. And I said, no, it wasn't your fault. And then another SEAL raised his hand and said, it was my fault. I didn't pass our location over the radio fast enough, so no one knew what building we were in, and that's what caused all this confusion. It was my fault. And I said, no, it wasn't your fault either. And then another SEAL raised his hand, and he said, boss, this was my fault. I didn't properly identify my target, and I shot and killed that friendly Iraqi soldier. This was my fault. And I said, no, this wasn't your fault either. And it wasn't yours or yours or yours, I said as I pointed to the rest of the SEALs in the room. And then I told them that there was only one person at fault for what had happened. There was only one person to blame. And that person was me. I am the commander. I am the senior man on the battlefield, and I am responsible for everything that happens. Everything. And then I went on to explain to them some new tactics, techniques, and procedures that we were going to implement to ensure that this kind of travesty never happened again. And I will tell you something, it hurt. It hurt my ego. It hurt my pride to take the blame. But I also knew. I knew that to maintain my integrity as a leader and as a man, I had to take responsibility. And in order to do that, I had to control my ego so that my ego did not control me. And you know what? I didn't get fired. In fact, my commanding officer, who had expected excuses and finger pointing, when I took responsibility, when I took ownership, he now trusted me even more. And my men, they didn't lose respect for me. Instead, they realized that I would never shirk responsibility, and I would never pass that heavy burden of command down the chain and onto them. And you know what? They had the same attitude. Unlike a team where no one takes ownership of the problems, and therefore the problems never get solved, with us, everyone took ownership of their mistakes. Everyone took ownership of the problems. And when a team takes ownership of its problems, the problems get solved. And that is true on the battlefield, it is true in business, and it is true in life. So I say, take ownership. Take extreme ownership. Don't make excuses. Don't blame any other person or any other thing. Get control of your ego. Don't hide your delicate pride from the truth. Take ownership of everything in your world, the good and the bad. Take ownership of your mistakes, take ownership of your shortfalls, take ownership of your problems, and then take ownership of the solutions that will get those problems solved. Take ownership of your mission. Take ownership of your job, of your team, of your future, and take ownership of your life. And lead. Lead. Lead yourself and your team and the people in your life. Lead them all to victory. Thank you.
All right, guys, drop some fire in the chat hey guys, if you got some value from that, drop some value in the chat. Let me get back on here, guys. All right, cool. So, guys, again, from being in the military and having that background, it does kind of hit a little deeper home. You know, be in a position to be, you know, waking out of bed and mortared a lot. But guys, this can be definitely taken back to our businesses. Guys, we have to first take ownership of our businesses ourselves. A lot of times everybody looking left, you know what I'm saying? You're looking right, you looking up, you looking down, you blaming your upline, you blaming your downline, you blaming your sideline, you blaming your kids, you blaming everybody possible for the reason why you're not being successful, but you never blaming yourself. You never are looking at the main person who's going to control your success, the main person who's going to control your bank account, the main person who's going to control how much, if your dreams really come true. That's you. That's nobody else. So I really want you to focus, guys, on what this man said. Take accountability. Take not just ownership, extreme ownership of your business. Take extreme ownership of your life. Take extreme ownership of your success. Because guys, it's all on you, right? I mean, personally speaking, guys, I'm just gonna give you, if you ever talk to me about being successful or who I want to win, guys, I can name people on my team and I say my number one goal is to have them win. I want to see them win. You know what my 1B goal is? I want to see Amina win. That's my upline. I want to see her win. I want to see her get promoted. I'm accountable for that too. I'm accountable for my downline. I'm accountable for myself. I'm accountable for the leaders that's beside me. I want accountable for it all. I'm accountable for my kids' success. I'm accountable for these things and I own it. I own that. So guys, I want y'all to start doing those things and owning owning everything. Everything, you take ownership of that. No more excuses. It's the number one thing that, to me, that frustrates a leader is someone that comes with excuses. Don't ever come with excuses, come with solutions. Stop making excuses for your own, like the reason why you are where you are today is for the actions you've done prior. The reasons why you're going to achieve success going forward is for the actions you do right now. So guys, you really, truly have to start really putting this into just perspective, what can happen in this business. Guys, again, imagine being in a position, if I told you, look, you got to spend 5-6 months of hard work, 5 or 6 months of hard work. You can make $50,000 or $60,000 on a residual basis for, you know, the next 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe even a lifetime. Would you do it? Would that be worth your time? Drop a 1 in the chat if that would be worth your time. To make 50 or 60 over the next, you put in hard work, would that be worth it to you? I mean, it's a lot of ones out there, right? I've seen a lot of people say, look, hey, I'm trying to get promoted. It was, you know, at the time, I think it was 65, 70 people on here that said, hey, I'm trying to get the next promotion this week. I'm gonna get promoted this week. If that's the case, then drop in the chat how much volume it takes for you to get your next promotion. How much volume would it take for you to get your next promotion? Do you know this? If you don't know this, are you taking ownership of your business? Per leg, do you know which leg it needs to go into? Are you taking ownership of your business? How often are you looking to talk to the person in your downline? Okay, look, I got a list. It's showing me, boom, boom, boom. This is who I need to focus on. This person needs to get promoted. This person's time is coming up. I'm owning it all. I don't got to worry about nobody else. I'm worried about me. I'm locking in with who needs it because I know that they want to win. Because even the person that don't need that, that's not locked in, I'm still like, look, let's get this thing going. I don't care if you crawl. If you crawl, I'm gonna crawl with you. If you walk, I'm gonna walk with you. If you run, I'm gonna run with you. Because guys, I want to make it to the top of this platform. I want to make it to the top of this comp plan. You know, regional director is not enough. National is not enough. I got $1 million plans. And I've waited too long in my life to where I'm not one, so I got to get there tomorrow. I'm taking ownership, right? So guys, another thing he spoke on is leadership. Drop leadership in the chat. Leadership, right? And I want you to do one more thing too, right? Drop 3 things that you think that make up the best leader to yourself, right? Drop 3 characteristics of what you feel make up a great leader, right? Accountability, right? That's a great one. Selflessness, knowledge, consistency, action, humility, consistency. Hey, all great ones. Drive, action, coachable, support, consistent discipline, dope. All these guys make up. But so now, if this is what it takes for you to come out, you got to start learning how to lead, because this network marketing is built on leaders. Leaders win. Leaders win big in this business. So even if you haven't been around, if you're not a leader now, learn to work on this fellowship. Learn to be an extreme follower. Get that guidance, get that mentorship, get that absorb. Like when I tell you, Daniel Leon calls me every day. I don't think he called me today, but hey, it was an off day. But every day he calls me about a game plan, about what's the move, because he's a follower. But again, guess what that turns? It turns into learning leadership by learning followership, and he's extreme with it. But guess what he's going to develop into? Being an extreme leader himself. So guys, take that into accountability, right? Leadership, right? And this is my 3 things that I try to make sure, as far as myself, as far as with leadership, that I incorporate every day. I have to be selfless. I have to be selfless with myself, right? I got to be selfless sometimes, especially to come in here and be real, like, man, to understand that I got to put my team first. A lot of times I got to put my money to the side sometimes. Look, if I got to help somebody get started or whatever, I can do that. Like, I got to be selfless with my time. Like, if I got to be up at 2 o'clock in the morning to close the agent because you worked all day and you up and you still going, then I got to be available to you. So I got to be selfless. A lot of us are always looking at, what do I get out of this? What me. Nah, you're going to do a lot more for somebody else than you're going to do for yourself. And you're going to start being really successful, because guess what's going to happen? Your team is going to start wanting to see you win, right? Your team is going to run through a wall to make sure you get promoted, because you're putting value into them. So understand, guys, this is not what a leader, right? And let's think about this in network marketing, right? So if I do 15,000 things, right? If I do all these things on my level, I sign up 5,000 people myself. How does that help my downline? How does that help my downline? Really doesn't. But if I come out here and I put time into my downline, I'm growing them out, and I'm helping them as a whole get 5,000 people, does it help me still? 100%. So I'm a servant. I'm a servant to them. They're not servants to me. I'm a servant to them. Be a servant to those under you. Be a servant to them. Do everything you can to help them become successful. Again, sacrifice, right? Also, like another one that was put out there, guys, you got to be a person of action. You got to be willing to make it happen, right? You got to be willing to go out there and say, look, I'm gonna do what's necessary. I'm gonna set this goal, whatever it may be, and I'm gonna do what's necessary to make it happen. I'm gonna be a person of action. I'm gonna be a person that when somebody has trouble, they need somebody to close, they're not going to nobody but me. They want to speak to me, right? If somebody like if I mean to call and say, Jamaal, look, I need to get promoted. I got 3 people left. I'm excited. I'm gonna do everything I can to get those 3 people. I want to be that person, right? If somebody on my downline, Jamaal, I'm so close to get promoted. Hey, let's lock in. Let's make it happen. Whatever's necessary, let's make this thing happen. I want to be that person. I'm gonna be a person of action consistently, right? And then lastly, my third one, guys, you got to learn from your lessons. A lot of us have too much pride, too much ego to really learn from our mistakes, to learn from our shortcomings. You know, we just think that, you know, this happened to me, or, you know, man, God shut that door. Nah, you weren't doing what you was need to do to be successful. Don't blame that on God. Don't put that on him. That's on you. And you keep doing the same exact thing, right? So guys, you got to learn from your past shortcomings. I ain't gonna say failures, just learn from your past shortcomings, right? You set a goal and objective, you fell short, evaluate what made you fall short. What could you have changed? What could you have done, right? And again, you know, and if you're looking back and you're like, man, I put all my work in these, I put all my work, all this thing into my team and I wasn't successful. Did you recruit hard enough? Because recruiting is always the answer. Go recruit. Get you a new team. Go develop those people. But guys, you are always going to be your own answer for your own success. So today, guys, I really want to drive that home. This week, there should be no excuses. This week, I want y'all to step up in your leadership. This week, I truly want to see every single one of y'all hit that promotion. Nobody here after this Saturday should not have that $150 extra bonus. Nobody should not have that promotion. But are you going to take ownership to make it happen? Are you going to stay in your upline's back pocket and let them know, look, to send your goal out to your owners, to your upline today? Send that goal out. Put it in writing. This is what I'm going to do. I'm getting promoted this week, right? Guys, I'm hitting 5-star this week, period. No ands or buts in this about it. I'm hitting 5-star this week. You can hold me to it. I want y'all to do the exact same thing. Put it out on the table. Don't be afraid of your own success. Damn sure don't be afraid of failure. So guys, definitely want to come out here and make this happen. It starts today. We on this 90-day run to success. We put people in a position to be high 6-figure earners on a residual basis. And we got a group of people that's want to help y'all get there. Lock in with us. So guys, I'm gonna finish this thing out. Definitely hope y'all got some value from this. It's gonna be an amazing week. Start tonight, plan out your steps. Get your posts together. Understand when you're gonna make your reels, when you're gonna make your TikToks, when you're gonna go out here, what you're gonna post. Be prepared. Be in a position of preparation. You know what I mean? So you're in action. So make that happen. Get that down tonight. Get with your upline. See what it's gonna take for you to be. I'm gonna be up. Hit me up. I'm gonna be up. I'm gonna be planning out my position to where I can make sure I get promoted this week and my team gets promoted as well. Do that. So, hey, y'all have a good night. Be blessed. If there's anything you need, 100% let me know. Anybody got anything to say before we get off? All right, bet. Y'all be blessed and have a good night. Hey, let's be great and let's win this week.